Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time we're going to be looking at something...
pretty fascinating.
Yeah, the connection between indigenous languages and environmental knowledge.
That's right.
You shared some articles with us, and I got to say, I was really blown away.
Oh, good.
By some of the stuff in here.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Like, there's this one language, right? Tuvan, spoken by nomadic herders in Siberia.
Yeah.
And their language is so deeply tied to their environment that it like shapes their entire worldview.
It really does.
Which is just mind-blowing to me. Like, how differently must they experience the world compared to like someone living in a city like New York?
Well, that's a great question, and I think that's a big part of what makes these languages so fascinating.
Yeah.
You know, in Tuvan, their survival like literally depends on how well they understand their environment.
Right.
The animals, the weather, the landscape, you know, it's all reflected in their language.
So it's not just about having like a word for snow. It's about understanding like
all the nuances of snow.
All the different types of snow.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
You know, for them, knowing the difference between like wet snow versus dry snow.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Can mean, you know, finding good grazing for their animals or getting lost in a blizzard.
Oh, wow.
You know, and that kind of deep knowledge is built into the very structure of their language.
There's this one anecdote in here about a Tuvan who visited Manhattan for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like totally disoriented.
Right.
Kept asking, where's the river?
I love that story.
It's so funny, but it also shows how central the river is to their sense, place, tenor, direction.
Absolutely.
Like, can you imagine trying to navigate Manhattan?
Using the Hudson River.
Using the flow of the Hudson?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's a whole different way of thinking.
Yeah.
And even their verbs of motion.
Oh, wow.
The way they talk about moving around.
Yeah.
It's all related to the direction of the nearest river's current.
So, like, their language is constantly reminding them of the natural world around them.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really guiding their decisions and actions in a way that we just don't see so much in modern languages.
It makes me wonder if their understanding of nature is, like, more advanced because of that.
I don't know if I'd say more advanced, but it's certainly a different kind of knowledge.
Yeah.
You know, it's a knowledge that's so deeply embedded in their culture, their daily lives, even their art.
Speaking of art.
Yeah.
Tuvan throat singing.
Yes.
That was fascinating to read about.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not just music.
No.
They're like mimicking environmental sounds, like connecting with the spirits of the land.
Yeah.
And even influencing animal behavior with their singing.
It's powerful stuff.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
They can influence animal behavior.
That's what they believe. Yeah.
That's wild.
It seems kind of supernatural to us.
Yeah.
For them, it's just a natural extension of their worldview. Their language, their songs, their entire culture is built around a deep respect for the environment and its resources.
Like the sounds of their language connect them to the land. It's fascinating.
Yeah, it really is.
But it also makes you think, like, what have we lost?
Right.
In our own languages.
Yeah, we've lost so much.
I mean, we might say baby horse, but the Tuvans have distinct terms for a filly and a colt.
Exactly.
Like, what else have we lost?
I mean, that loss of vocabulary is just the tip of the iceberg.
Really?
Yeah. We've lost entire concepts, ways of seeing and understanding the world that are encoded in these indigenous languages.
And those are important.
And that's a real shame because they hold valuable clues to protecting our planet.
So it's not just about preserving languages for cultural reasons.
No.
It's for environmental reasons, too.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Indigenous communities often know more about their local biodiversity than Western scientists do.
Yeah.
They have centuries of observation and knowledge embedded in their languages.
Like that guy in the article, Ruben Nerium.
Oh, yeah, in Vanuatu.
Could name over 2,000 plants.
Yeah, he's incredible.
And give detailed information about each one.
Yeah.
That's mind-blowing.
It really is.
Like, imagine all the knowledge that's out there.
Yeah.
That we could learn from.
And that kind of knowledge can be crucial for conservation efforts.
Yeah.
Imagine the insights we could gain by tapping into that knowledge.
So Tuvan, that's just one example, right?
Oh, yeah, that's just one.
There's tons more
Yeah.
indigenous languages around the world
Yeah.
that hold incredible environmental knowledge.
Absolutely.
Like one of the articles talk about ecological calendars in Vanuatu.
Oh, yes.
Based on natural cycles like flowering plants or the arrival of certain birds. And they're like incredibly accurate.
They are.
It's
a testament to their powers of observation and their understanding of nature's rhythms.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really is remarkable.
Yeah.
Makes you think, how much we rely on technology for things that indigenous communities have been doing for centuries.
Yeah.
Just by observing nature.
It's like they don't even have to think about it.
Right.
It's just ingrained in them.
It's second nature.
Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of which,
Well, yeah.
there's another great example in the articles.
Okay.
The Bon Ar people in Vietnam.
Oh, yeah, their basketry.
Exactly.
That was so cool.
It's not just beautiful craftsmanship.
Yeah.
It's a reflection of their environment.
Yeah, and like how it's changing.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, they use different plants to create their baskets.
Uh-huh.
And the availability of those plants
Yeah.
tells a story about deforestation and climate change.
It's like holding history in your hands.
It really is.
Yeah.
And the language they use to describe those plants,
Oh,
the weaving techniques,
Yeah.
the patterns, all of it carries meaning
wow.
and knowledge about their environment.
It's like a secret code.
Yeah, it's like a language within a language.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
But sadly, a lot of this knowledge is being lost.
It is
One of the articles said almost half of the world languages,
7,000 of them.
7,000 languages, are endangered.
It's a tragedy,
Yeah.
you know, not just for cultural diversity,
Oh.
but for the loss of this invaluable knowledge
Yeah.
about the environment.
Especially now,
Especially now.
when we need it most.
Exactly.
And this knowledge, it's not easily translated.
No, it's not.
Right.
It's often lost when a language dies.
Like we're losing entire libraries.
Yeah, it's like burning down a library
Yeah.
filled with irreplaceable books.
And the article mentioned that Western science
Yeah.
is like slowly starting to recognize
Yeah, they're starting to wake up,
the value of this indigenous knowledge.
but there's still a long way to go.
There's that example with the World Wildlife Fund.
Oh, yeah.
They announced new species discoveries in Vietnam,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't even consult with the indigenous communities.
I know, it's crazy.
What a missed opportunity.
It really is.
Yeah, like how much could we have learned? If we had just like asked,
It's a classic example of how Western science often operates in a silo, you know, failing to acknowledge the
Yeah.
drip knowledge that already exists
right?
within indigenous communities.
That's a shame.
Makes you wonder how many solutions are out there
Oh, I'm sure there are countless solutions.
that we're just missing out on.
Just waiting to be discovered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a sobering thought,
it is.
but there are glimmers of hope.
Oh, good.
You know, that Talking Dictionaries project
Oh, yeah.
that was mentioned in one of the articles?
That sounded really cool.
It's using technology to document and revitalize indigenous languages.
So cool.
That's a really inspiring project.
Yeah, like blending tradition and innovation.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's a great example of how we can bridge that gap
Yeah.
between traditional knowledge and modern science.
It gives me hope that we can protect these languages
Me too.
and the knowledge that they hold.
Yeah.
But it also makes me think, like, what can we do? Right.
As individuals.
That's a great question.
Yeah, helpful.
And that's something we'll explore further
Okay.
in our final segment.
Awesome.
We'll delve into what we can all do
Yeah.
as individuals and as a society
Okay.
to support the preservation of indigenous languages and knowledge systems.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
But before we move on,
Yeah.
I want to like pause for a second
Okay.
and bring you, our listener, back into the conversation.
That's good.
Like, what's been resonating with you so far?
Yeah.
What new perspectives have you gained?
Right.
Take a moment to consider those questions,
Yeah.
and we'll be back right after this
We'll be right back.
to explore some solutions. Welcome back to the show.
Let's talk about solutions now. You know, we've been talking about this incredible connection between indigenous languages and environmental knowledge.
Yeah.
But these languages are facing some serious threats.
They are. It's true.
Right.
Language loss is a huge problem.
Yeah. And we're losing so much knowledge along with them.
We really are. Like earlier, we were talking about Ruben Nerium from Vanuatu.
Yeah, incredible guy.
He could identify over 2,000 plants.
It's mind-blowing.
It is. But it also kind of makes you think, like, what if that knowledge isn't passed on?
Exactly. That's the concern. You know, a lot of this indigenous knowledge,
Yeah.
it's passed down orally
Right.
through stories and songs and everyday interactions. And
Yeah.
when a language dies,
Yeah.
that whole way of understanding the world,
It's gone.
it's gone.
Like that Tuvan concept we were talking about
yeah,
before.
yeah, the sacred seasonal campsite.
It's more than just a place, right?
Yeah. It's a whole set of beliefs and behaviors
Yeah.
that show a deep respect for the land.
And for like sustainable living.
Exactly. It's a way of life that's in harmony with nature.
Makes me wonder what kind of knowledge is embedded in our own languages.
That's a great question.
You know, maybe we've lost touch with some of that ancient wisdom.
I think that's definitely possible.
So what can we do about all of this?
Well, there are a lot of things we can do. I mean, one thing is to support organizations that are working to revitalize indigenous languages.
Okay, so like donate to them.
Yeah, donate to them, volunteer with them, spread the word about their work,
Okay.
and also learning about the indigenous cultures and languages in your own region.
Yeah,
That's a great way to start.
like just become more aware.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And support indigenous artists and writers and musicians.
Oh, yeah?
You know, help keep those traditions alive.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, by engaging with indigenous art and culture,
Yeah.
you're helping to keep those languages and traditions vibrant and relevant.
So it sounds like we all have a role to play here.
We absolutely do.
What are some of the key takeaways you hope our listeners will walk away with today?
Well, I hope they'll remember that indigenous languages are so much more than just words.
Yeah.
They hold this incredible knowledge about our planet
Mm-hmm.
and how to live sustainably.
Yeah.
And that knowledge is crucial for the future,
Especially now.
especially now,
Yeah.
with all the environmental challenges we're facing.
It's been really eye-opening for me to see how much we can learn from indigenous communities
Me too.
if we just take the time to listen.
Exactly. They offer a different perspective,
Yeah.
a different way of seeing our relationship with nature.
And we need that now more than ever.
You really do.
So to our listeners out there,
Yeah.
what can you do to support indigenous languages and knowledge systems?
Even small actions can make a big difference.
Yeah. Think about it.
Yeah,
Every language, every culture has something unique to offer,
that's right.
and we need to protect that.
We need to make sure that knowledge is passed on to future generations.
Thank you for joining us today.
It's been a pleasure.
And until next time, keep diving deep.